Hi everyone, welcome to SKR Yoga and Wellness. My name is Sam, and today we're going to be doing a slow-moving morning flow. So as the title would suggest, this is a class that is perfect to do first thing in the morning after sleeping for so long. So it's just a really great way to energize and wake up the body first thing in the morning. We're going to start with a meditation, but I'd like to start it standing. So, of course, because we've just been asleep for hopefully 8 hours, now we want to energize the body. So I'd like to start in a standing meditation. So placing your feet just right underneath your hips, arms are just hanging by your sides, palms shining forward, and then we're just softly going to close the eyes. Just taking a moment for an internal focus. Taking a few really deep breaths, inviting the air into the lungs. And I would just like to do a quick body scan to see how we're feeling today and where we're at. So starting from the feet and moving upwards through the body. So with your attention in your feet, notice where your weight is being held today. Maybe you're standing more in one foot rather than the other. Maybe your weight is spilling forwards into your toes or back into your heels. How do your ankles feel? Moving up into your knees and your legs. Noticing if there's any tension or stress. Moving up into your hips and pelvis. Maybe you're sitting into one hip more than the other. Paying attention to the relationship between the front of your hip bones and the bottom of your rib cage. Do they feel really close together, these two places, or really far apart? Bringing our attention into our spine from the base of our tailbone all the way up to the base of our skull. Noticing if there's any places we feel compressed or elongated. Feeling our shoulder blades against the back of our rib cage, our arms hanging by our sides, becoming aware of the negative space between our arms and our torso. Moving on up into the neck, shoulders, and sternum. And moving up, finally reaching the neck and the head. And notice if you're holding any tension at the base of your skull, between your ears, maybe between your eyebrows, on your forehead, in your jaw, behind your eyelids. And if you feel tension in any of these areas, we're going to let it go on the next exhale, on a cleansing breath. So let's all together take a big inhale through the nose, and exhaling out the mouth, letting that tension release through the body. One more time, just like that, inhaling through the nose and exhaling out the mouth. We'll take a few more seconds here just to feel really grounded and rooted into the floor, reestablishing our connection to the earth now that we are awake once more. And we'll bring our hands to prayer position in front of our chest. And just softly blink your eyes open. We'll continue from here. You're going to reach your right arm up towards the side and then grab a hold of that wrist with your left hand. We're going to inhale, grow taller, and on an exhale, just bending at the waist towards the side. Try as we do this to really isolate your side bend. So I'm not sitting into my hips to create this side bend. I'm keeping my weight right in between both of my feet and just really bending from the belly button up. Taking a couple more breaths here. And inhaling to come back to center. Right away we'll switch. So your left hand is going to extend, right hand will grab at the wrist. Inhaling to get taller and exhaling again, just folding right from the waist. So nothing changes from the hips down. My weight is even between my feet. I'm still maintaining that really grounded feeling we just found in the meditation. longer on the left side of our rib cage. And we'll inhale to come back to center, just letting those arms fall. We'll find a wider stance, so just placing your feet now a bit wider than your hips. Hands can come onto your hips. And we're inhaling to come up nice and tall. Exhale, fold at the waist forward, keeping a long spine. And when you get to the bottom, we're gonna bend the knees and inhale to roll up through the spine to come back to stand. Same thing, exhale to bend forward at the waist, keeping a long spine. Bending at the knees when you get to the bottom. And rolling through, head and shoulders are the last to recover. Again, exhaling forward. Bending the knees, inhaling up to roll through. We'll do this once more, inhaling, bend forward at the waist. And bend the knees, exhale, rolling through the spine. Now we're just gonna reverse that sequence, so it's gonna start rolling through your spine as you bend your knees to get to the bottom. And once you get to the bottom, straighten your spine and your legs to come all the way back up to stand. So this time on an exhale, we curve down. Inhale, straight legs and spine to come up. We'll do that twice more. Curving on an exhale to come down. Inhale to come up. Last time, exhale, curve. Head goes first as we dive forward. And we inhale to come all the way up to stand. Let's take one more dive forward with a nice long spine. And from here, you can place your palms on the floor underneath you. Or if you need a block here as well, that's totally okay. And you can hang out here or progress a little bit farther with me. We're going to grab a hold of our big toes with our two-piece fingers. You're gonna inhale, find a nice long straight spine and straight arms. And then on your next exhale, bending your elbows towards the side walls and just pulling your torso in closer towards your legs. If you need to keep a slight bend in your knees here, please do. So this is a morning flow. We want to gently wake up the body and not force anything. So there's no need to have perfectly straight legs. Really take it easy. And from here, we will release the hold of our toes. If you were doing that variation, you're gonna walk your hands over to the front of your mat and just gently make your way into a downward facing dog. And again, as this is our first down dog, take any little movements you need to fully settle into this pose. So shake out your head, yes and no, bend and stretch your knees. Slide your shoulder blades down your back to settle into this first down dog. And from this down dog, we'll swing the right leg forward in between the palms. Let the left knee come down onto the mat. And we're right away going to come up, arms overhead, finding our low lunge. We'll try to maintain the connection between your inner thighs in this low lunge. So I'm still engaging my muscles and not just splaying out into a really deep stretch here. Still maintaining the connection, keeping my core engaged. And from here, let's tuck the back toes, just gently lifting up into a high lunge here. Arms stay stretching up overhead. Only here for a few breaths, and we'll cycle the left arm down onto the mat, opening up into an easy twist. Gently waking up the spine. And from here, you're going to float your right palm back down onto the mat. Spin your back heel so it's parallel to the short edge of your mat, and windmill your arms up to find warrior two here on the right side. Be here for about 3 more breaths, making sure your shoulders are right on top of your hips, making a 90-degree angle with that front knee, and having straight arms out to the side, just like a warrior. From here, we're gonna straighten that front knee, walk your back toes in just a few inches so we're shortening our stance, and flip your palms so they're facing forward here. We're gonna inhale, get taller. On an exhale, bending at the waist, just coming to a triangle pose. You can rest your right hand on your shin here, but try not to put too much weight. We still want to be supporting ourselves from our core. And from this pose here, we're just going to take some arm circles. So on an inhale, extend that arm up overhead, reaching towards the front of the mat. And then exhale, continuing the circle. And inhaling to come back up and over. And exhale, continuing the circle. We're going to do this about 3 more times. Moving at your own pace of breath. Warming up that shoulder joint. Make sure at the completion of each circle, when we come back up to the top, we're finding that open place towards the long side of our mat once more. Finishing up your last arm circle here. We're gonna take both palms and bring them down towards the mat. And you can allow your back foot now to turn in at about a 45-degree angle. Now again, if you need blocks here, if the floor feels too far away, please feel free to grab those. Otherwise, you can rest your hands on your shin, your fingertips on the floor, or your whole palm on the floor. And we're really just folding over that front leg. So letting your spine curve as it will. Not trying to force a straight spine here. Just waking up our lower body, getting ready for the day. And we'll just lift our head back up. We're gonna step back from here into a downward dog. And you can hold this downward dog or take a flow. So we'll inhale forward to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog, and exhale, back to downward facing dog. Taking 5 breaths here. And at the end of your next exhale, we will bring that left foot forward now, finding a low lunge here on the second side. Right knee will come down, arms will reach up overhead. And again, I'm feeling that connection, I'm feeling that connection between my inner thighs. So I'm not releasing and sitting really low into this posture, but I'm still engaging my legs, almost as if I'm trying to squeeze my mat together underneath me. Good way to think about it. And from here, we'll tuck the back toes under once more, reaching up into a high lunge, stretching further into that right hip. And on your next exhale, bringing your right palm this time down onto the mat, opening up, finding easy twist. And float the left palm back down, spinning the back heel, windmilling the arms once again up to find warrior 2, finding a long and low stance. Make sure your heels are in line with one another, shoulders right on top of the hips. And we're feeling very long and strong here. On your next inhale, we'll straighten that front leg, walk the back toes in a few inches, shortening our stance, flipping our palms to face forward. And an inhale, we're going to grow and get taller. Exhale, bending at the waist, finding triangle pose. Once again, you can grab onto your shin just to stabilize yourself here. And we'll come into these arm circles, inhaling with the arm reaching overhead. Exhaling as the arm comes down. Inhaling to bring it back up and overhead. And all the way around. Again, moving moving at the pace of your own breath. About 3 more or so. Opening up that shoulder joint. Finding a nice open position again when we reach the top of our arm circle. And let's finish up our last round. When we get back to the top, we'll turn to place both of our hands down onto the mat. Let the back foot spin in, so it's now at about a 45-degree angle. And again, you can have your hands resting on your shin, fingertips on the floor, our palms all the way down on the mat as we fold forward over that front leg. Again, if you need to have a slight bend in your front knee here, please feel free to do so. Again, as this is a morning class, we just want to gently stretch and wake up the body. We're not doing anything too strenuous too soon. And from here, once again, we'll lift the gaze, really plant the palms, and we're going to step both feet back into our downward dog. And same as before, you can hold here in this down dog, or follow with me into a flow. We'll inhale to plank, exhale, chaturanga, inhale, upward dog, and exhaling to downward facing dog. Take another 5 breaths here. From this down dog, we're gonna once again float the right foot forward, finding low lunge. This time just keep your fingertips on the floor, sitting up as tall as we can, maintaining that contact. And we're gonna exhale, send the hips back, just to find half splits here, folding over that front leg, stretching into the hamstring. Again, if you need to keep a bend in that front knee, please do. From here, you're going to bring both your hands on the inside of your right foot and swing that leg out beside you, and then come up to stand on your left knee. If you need to fold the mat over to add a little bit more cushion, that's totally fine. But we're finding a nice long spine here. We're going to inhale, reaching your left arm all the way up, growing to get taller. And on an exhale, we're bending towards our extended leg. Your right hand here can slide down your leg, just to give a little bit of extra support, but try not to put too much weight onto it. So again, we're bending from the waist, keeping our lower body strong and solid, maintaining that connection into the earth. And on your next inhale, we'll reach that left arm to come all the way up and over. We're gonna send our hips back towards our heel here, and then continue rolling onto your sit bone. That right leg will come with you to face now the opposite side of your mat. So right now I have my left foot on the inside of my right thigh, right leg is extended, and my right foot is flexed. I'm gonna inhale my arms up, and exhale, bending at the waist, grabbing a hold of whatever you can, trying to keep a long spine here. So I'm not folding, I'm not curving over my leg. I'm trying to keep a long and stretched out spine as I fold. And on your next inhale, reaching your arms long to come all the way back up. We're gonna send our left hand behind us here, plant it onto the floor, push into that hand, send your hips up. We're gonna reach the right arm all the way up and over, opening up the chest and heart, arching the back slightly, finding baby wild thing. Push your hips a little bit higher. And on your next exhale, you're gonna slowly plant your sit bone back down onto the floor. Bend your right knee in to meet the left, and we're gonna come into a child's pose. So you can have your knees slightly apart, toes together, walking your hands forward. Forehead melts onto the mat. I'm just relaxing here. And on your next inhale, lifting your gaze, walking your hands back in. We're going to do that same sequence on the left. So first come to all fours, and from here we will swing the left leg forward to find low lunge. On the left side, fingertips stay in contact with the mat, keeping that connection between both of our inner thighs. And on your next exhale, we send the hips back, finding half splits, folding over that front leg. Keeping a generous bend in the knee if we need. And now from here, I bring both my hands to the inside of that left leg. This leg swings out to the side, and I come up to find a straight position here. Again, feel free to fold your mat if you need. I'm going to inhale, reaching my right arm all the way up beside my ear. And on my exhale, bending at the waist, letting the left hand slide down your leg. Stretching into the side body. Again, really trying to isolate the bend from the navel, so nothing in the lower body changes. We're here in gate pose. 2 more breaths. And on your next inhale, reaching that right arm all the way up and over. Now from here, we send the sit bone down onto the heel, and then continue rolling to turn and face the long edge of our mat. You might need to make a little bit of adjustments here to find the position, keeping your right foot attached to your inner left thigh. Left foot is flexed. We inhale, both arms up, finding a nice long spine. Exhale, bending forward, grabbing hold of whatever you can, and trying to keep a long spine. So I'm not curving my upper back at all here. I'm trying to stay elongated as I reach forward for that foot. Take one more breath here. Now your next inhale, we'll reach the arms forward to come all the way up. Taking your right hand, placing it behind your hips. And on your next inhale, we're pushing into that hand, lifting the hips, reaching the left arm up and over, finding baby wild thing. Keep that left foot in contact with the floor. Opening up the chest and the heart. And on your next exhale, we'll send the hips back down onto the mat. Curving all the way around. And from here, we'll bend this knee in to meet the right. Once again, opening up the knees, keeping the toes together, finding our child's pose. So walking the hands forward, melting the forehead down. And breathing here for another 5 breaths. On the next inhale, lifting your head, walking your hands back in. Bring your knees together. From here, we're going to come into a plank pose. Now it's up to you to decide how much effort you want to put into this plank. So if you want to keep your knees on the floor, totally okay for first thing in the morning. So walking your hands out right underneath your shoulders, tucking your toes, and just finding your plank position. And once again, if you'd like to place your knees down and not use quite as much effort in the morning here, totally okay. We're going to be here for about another 5 to 10 breaths. So really engaging the front line of your body, waking up our core, putting in a little bit more effort. Keeping your shoulders pushing away from the floor so we're not sinking in to our shoulder blades here. Pinching your toes in towards your wrists. And on your next exhale, we'll bend at the elbows to come all the way down onto our stomach. Bringing the feet together and then coming up onto your elbows. Just finding Sphinx pose here. The closer you bring your elbows in towards your rib cage, the more intense this stretch will be. So you can play with different distances from your body to find the stretch that suits you this morning. Making sure that your shoulders are still pushing down away from your ears and not collapsing up. And just breathing here. Let's take 3 more breaths. And from the Sphinx pose, we're going to take our right hand, our right forearm at a 45-degree angle, and really push into that elbow to keep us supported. Bending into your left leg, we're going to reach back with our left hand to grab that foot and just gently pull it in towards your hips. So we're finding a nice quad stretch here on the left side. Again, making sure that that right shoulder is pushing away from your ear so we're not collapsing into that arm that's supporting us. We're still pushing away, finding our quad stretch. And then your next exhale, releasing that foot back down. Straighten out your right forearm, and we'll bring the left one this time to a 45-degree angle. Right knee will bend, right arm will reach to grab a hold of that foot. And again, pushing into the shoulder, staying supported. If your foot feels very far away in this pose, you can always add a strap to grab a hold of it, to feel that stretch. Even a belt or a scarf would work as well. One more breath here, and we'll exhale, let that foot float back down onto the mat. From here, bring your upper body down. We're going to roll onto one side, pushing up, and just finding a wide-legged position while we're sitting here. So we're coming into a seated wide-legged forward fold. Just give your legs a nice shake out here so they can relax and not hold any remaining tension. We don't have to engage any muscles in our legs here. We're just going to find a passive stretch, walking your hands forward as far as you can go. If you'd like to place a cushion or a block underneath you here, feel free to do so. We'll be here for about a minute. So really just waking up, engaging the stretch in our inner thighs. Again, being very gentle, not forcing anything, not using a ton of effort. Just giving a gentle wake up and engagement into the body. And on your next inhale, we'll walk the hands back in. And from here, bring your legs back together. Coming all the way down into your back now. I'm going to come up into a shoulder stand right away. If this feels like too much for you first thing in the morning, feel free to plant the feet and come into a bridge pose like so. Otherwise, you can come on up into your shoulder stand with me here. So swinging your legs up, walking your hands down your back, supporting your hips, trying as best you can to make a straight line. This is something I'm definitely working on in my own home practice here. And if you find that you can't breathe, you've maybe gone a little bit too far, so you might want to ease off.
From here, if you would like to progress into plow pose with your toes behind your head, feel free to do so. I'm going to hang out here. This is enough for me for today. But feel free to utilize this moment in your practice for what you need, how you would like to wake up your body. And on your next exhale, we're going to slowly roll back out through the spine, inch by inch. Trying to control those legs coming back down onto the floor. From here, just to close off our practice before Shavasana, let's find figure 4 with the right foot. So flexing the right foot over the left knee, grabbing a hold of your left thigh or shin, and just gently pulling that leg in towards you, opening up the hip. And we'll float that foot back down onto the mat. Shift your hips over to the right side. Bring your arms out to the side, cross at the thighs, and let your legs fall over to the left as your eyes come over to the right. In this twist, make sure we have both shoulders firmly pressing into the floor. Really breathing into our navel. Letting the weight of the legs in their crossed position pull us farther into the twist. And on your next inhale, firm up the belly to bring the leg back to center, re-centering the hips, and finding figure 4 now on the left side, so flexing that left foot, bringing both legs in, grabbing a hold of what you can to gently pull the legs in closer to you. And just breathe. And gently floating that right foot back down onto the mat. Bring your arms out to the side and hips over to the left side of your mat. We're going to cross at the thighs and let the knees fall to the right as our eyes go to the left. Finding our twist once more here. And breathing into the belly button. Keeping your shoulders on the floor. Closing down our practice. Bringing the breathing back to normal. And on your next inhale, firming up the belly. Just bring the knees back to center. Now from here, rolling onto your side to come up to a seated position. I know I said Shavasana, we would do Shavasana earlier, but I actually think I'm going to close off today's class with a seated meditation just to avoid the very real possibility that we might fall back asleep before continuing on with the rest of our day. So feel free to join me in this seated meditation to close off our practice, or if you would like to do Shavasana on your own, you can do that as well. It's your own practice, you do you. So, keeping your legs crossed, sitting up nice and tall, just resting your hands on your knees and gently closing your eyes. Take a moment to send gratitude to your body for carrying you through that morning practice. Thank yourself for
stepping onto the mat this morning and starting your day off with a nice gentle stretch. We will take another 10 breaths here, and I invite you to just set an intention for your day. So whatever you have ahead of you in the next few hours, set an intention with what you would like to accomplish and what you would like today to look like for you. Really setting up your mindset to tackle whatever it is you have going on. And with today's intentions and all of your gratitude in mind, let's bring our hands in prayer position in front of your chest and Namaste, yogis. Thank you so much for doing this morning practice with me. I hope that you feel energized and engaged and ready to tackle your day with whatever your day holds for you. If you liked this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe to SKR Yoga and Wellness. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Take care. I'll see you next week.